Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Wednesday, the 1st of October 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai or your post on chain. Right, let's see what we've got today. Just a little catch-up video because obviously we missed out Monday. So I just thought I'd do one this morning, probably do another one later on and we'll catch up, and then we're back to an average of one a day, which is where we like to be. So on this show, we're just going to follow this thread here from CSW just because it looks absolutely epic. So we'll read through that. It's got a post here from Andrew Neil about Keir Starmer lying, blatantly lying. I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on. A little bit of news on Centbee, could be promising. And then we'll have a quick look at the figures, some 365 days of Bitcoin history, and then we'll finish with the Kellen Schweller countdown. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Alrighty, here we go. So let's get into this thread here. So CSW first responded to this profile, Assessor Presidencial de Rebord, who asked, Doctor, what do you think will be the fate of BTC Core? A financial bubble that will end up bursting, or could it last for many years and then explode? So CSW has said here, BTC in its current form functions almost entirely as a speculative asset. This is unsustainable, and when that speculation fades, because utility will take over, it will collapse with astonishing speed. The reality is that BTC has no practical use beyond being a vehicle for speculation, as in Ponzi scheming. It cannot scale, its transaction fees are sky high, and it will no longer serve the purpose it was originally designed for, a micropayment system and timestamp server. When people realize this, the price will inevitably fall, and with that, the entire system will unravel. Yeah, because it's an economic model. People will realize it's useless and therefore worthless. He continues. Let's expand this one a bit. Let's break this down. Nodes, the backbone of any blockchain, must be compensated for their work. In the case of BTC, they are currently being compensated with high transaction fees and block rewards. But as soon as the price drops, the income nodes earned from mining will no longer be able to cover the basic cost of operation, such as electricity and maintenance. Once it becomes unprofitable to run nodes, miners will exit the network, causing a reduction in hash power, which in turn makes the network less secure. Spells it out for them, pure and simple. These so-called solutions, like Lightning Network, only accelerate BTC Core's collapse by pushing transactions off-chain. Lightning takes away the very fees that nodes rely on for sustainability. Nodes that are supposed to verify transactions and maintain the integrity of the blockchain are now left with even fewer transactions to process, reducing their income further. This undermines the entire system. Lightning may claim to solve the scalability issue, but it doesn't. But it does so by removing transactions from the blockchain, stripping nodes of transaction fees that are essential to their operation. And again, I suspect the cabal probably thought that BTC would the entire industry would probably be gone by now, but it's still here. As more users are pushed onto off-chain solutions like Lightning, the already fragile BTC network becomes increasingly starved of the fees needed to maintain its infrastructure. In short, these supposed fixes only weaken the foundation of BTC Core, hastening the inevitable collapse by driving miners and nodes out of the network, leaving an empty shell of a system that can no longer sustain itself. And again, this is why they've brought in the bullshit narrative of quantum resistant computing. Yeah, so basically what we've got to do is we've got to build a completely new system. You've got to move your coins onto that. You know, it's probably going to be like proof of stake. Well, I don't even think they'll bother. It'll be proof of stake. It'll just be centrally controlled by them. And you're back to the good old central banking system with worthless bits of data on it that can't move. That's what they want. He continues, this is the Achilles heel of BTC Core. Achilles heel, I'd say, well, yeah, it is. I'd say it's all by design. It's purposely designed to collapse. As the price drops, the incentives for miners diminish rapidly. Without miners, the network will become unstable, transactions will slow down even more, and trust in the system will evaporate. The very people speculating on BTC's price will start to panic, and the speculative bubble will burst. What's left? A blockchain that can no longer function as intended, and a market that no longer has confidence in the asset. When the price of BTC drops below a certain threshold, it's a race to the bottom. The electricity costs for mining will continue, but with diminishing rewards. Miners will shut down their rigs, the system will become more insecure, and the entire infrastructure will collapse. This is why they want a, quote here, quantum resistant system, one that's completely centrally controlled by them. That's what they're pushing for to get out of this shit. This will not be a slow decline, it will happen rapidly, because the only thing holding BTC up right now is the speculative belief in its future value. Yeah, absolutely. Once that belief cracks, the entire thing falls apart. I would actually say the very same thing actually applies to gold and silver as well. People are speculating on it that it's going to be used to back a currency in the future. When they realize that that's not going to happen and people are using Bitcoin, like suddenly the speculative price, which is absolutely huge, reverts back to its commercial use price, supply and demand. So I think it's going to affect everything. As less profitable miners fall off the BTC network due to diminishing block subsidies, the transaction fees, the overall hash power of the network decreases. This drop in computational power leads to longer times between blocks, as fewer miners are competing to solve each block. With fewer blocks being mined, the throughput of the network slows significantly, causing delays in transaction confirmations. As block times increase, the pressure on fees intensifies as users compete to have their transactions processed in the shrinking number of available blocks. This creates a feedback loop. Higher fees push more users and miners out, worsening the network's performance. The inability to exit the network efficiently due to high fees and slow confirmations can lead to a run on the bank scenario, where users rush to sell or move their holdings before the system collapses, amplifying the downward spiral. And that'll be people holding all their BTC, in off exchanges. They'll be panicking to get them back onto an exchange where they can dump them, and like literally the block fee, the 1 megabyte block fee, will not be able to deal with it. Just saying. In the end, BTC Core's fate is inevitable, as by design. A speculative bubble built on nothing more than the hope of future profits cannot sustain itself indefinitely. When the collapse happens, it will be swift, and there will be nothing left for the miners to use, or the believers in the so-called digital gold. He's right. Oh, that's funny. Big Scratch has just got the Lambo. There we go. When Lambo. Oh dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, CSW calling that one. But I still think my videos, and again, the moment I mentioned it had 1 million views, it's got like 1.2 million views now, maybe even more. The cabal went and just simply hid the numbers, so people can't see how many views it's got. So they're concerned. They're concerned. But over 1 million people have seen that. It's been called. It's been called. Talking about something being called. Let's have a look at this post from John Spencer. He said, common sense people will say knowingly lying. And that was in response to Andrew Neil's post here saying, Keir Starmer claims that Nigel Farage is to blame for the boat people because Brexit took us out of the Dublin Convention in 2020, which allows us to return asylum seekers to the EU countries from whence they came. The MP is either ignorant of the facts or knowingly lying. Neither is a good look. Yeah, either utterly incompetent or he's lying, nefarious. Nolan principles, he should be out. The Dublin Convention was a two-way street for asylum seekers. Yes, we could try to return them, but others could also be returned to us. As a result, the Dublin Agreement actually made us a net receipt of asylum seekers. Take 2018, we made 5,500 requests for asylum seekers to be returned. Only 209 transfers were agreed. In the same year, under the same convention, we accepted 1,215 asylum seekers, so we were net recipients by over 1,000. The Dublin Convention did nothing to make it easier to return asylum seekers. Nearly all politicians are cavalier with the truth when it suits them, but Starmer is making this a new level. Yeah, absolutely outrageous what's going on. This is why the world needs Bitcoin, so the lies, they can't get away with their lies, really. Let's have a look at this. A report's coming through that Centbee wallet is working, although nothing official. I have actually tried mine. Although the wallet is syncing, it's not sending. So I'm hoping, or what it looks like Centbee are gearing up to maybe come back online one last time, so that people can actually send their coins out from the wallets. That's what it seems like. Haven't heard anything official yet, but that's what it looks like. So fingers crossed for them. Right, let's have a look at these figures then, just quickly. 10-minute show. 49% of all the transactions across the Bitcoin forks. Blocks coming through fairly consistent. 89% of the entire block size across the Bitcoin forks. 46,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin, but look, it's 8.2% more profitable to mine it. Even though it's 46,000 times more cheaper to transact on it, it's 8.2% more profitable for the miners. I'm telling you, the gate is being opened, ready for the horse to bolt. That's what's happening. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts, because that's where it is. Global hash rate 7 days, 24 hours. Gradecoin hash rate other miners 6.94. Bcrash other miners 15.28. Fisher Price Cash other miners 56. And again, CoinDance not reporting the figures for Bitcoin. We're currently fourth in the market of overall utility. Ethereum 1.6 million, XRP 677, Gradecoin 560, and we're at 478. And yet we're down at almost the hundreds in market cap. Absolutely ridiculous. And yet we're running fourth, ahead of Litecoin, ahead of Bitcoin Cash, ahead of Dogecoin. But are we anywhere near them in terms of market ranking? No, we're not. Absolutely insane. In fact, let's just have a quick look at all the big dogs in the market here. Look. Market cap, BTC 2.3 trillion, Ethereum $500 billion, XRP 175 billion, was Dogecoin 32 billion. Look at that. Look at that. What about Litecoin? Where's Litecoin? Is that taking a beating? 8 billion. Look at that. And genuine Bitcoin, just 493 million. Absolutely nothing. 24-hour turnover, 15 million. So let's just work out how many coins that is. So if we do 15 million. Oh, hold on. $15 million divided by the price. That is $25. So there's only 600,000. We're 600,000 coins have been traded. But if we divide that by 2, that's 300,000. 300,000 coins were sold. So that's 300,000 coins available for sale, and that is it. So you're looking at $7 million worth. $7 million worth. So any billionaire, you know, bearing in mind a billion is 1,000 million, and you only need 7 to literally scoop up all the coins available for sale on the market. That is what you call a liquidity squeeze. Like, whoa. And let's have a look at the price here. So it looks like we just got some positive action against the big dog. You know, even though we've taken a beating since the beginning of the month, down and down and down, but look at that positive movement in there. But again, you know, the further the price goes down, the further you are pulling the string back on the bow. Is the way I like to look at it. Brilliant. 365 days of Bitcoin history is the 1st of October. On the 1st of October 2012, Julian Assange said, in the era of mass surveillance, the last free living people will be the ones who know how to use cryptography. They'll also be the ones that know how to use Bitcoin, because it's the Bitcoin network that we should be using for everything. And that has all the cryptography on it that you need, because everything else goes through a centralized server. You know, what we really need is, you know, kind of scrambled private messages. Yeah, there is a way of doing it, you know. Beautiful. 1st of October 2013, Ross Ulbricht was captured. Let's have a look at this Vice.com article. Prosecutors in Silk Road trial present damning evidence from Ross Ulbricht's computer. If alleged Silk Road mastermind Ross Ulbricht had awoken on the 1st of October 2013 and decided to toss his laptop into the San Francisco Bay, he might still be a free man today. Well, funnily enough, he is. He's been pardoned. But today was when he got caught. And the story is there. I mean, what a fantastic story that was. You know, just in terms of story. And also on the 1st of October, we've got another classic PMAC gaffe. On the 1st of October 2020, this moron wrote, "What fucking idiot is selling all their concert tickets on the Lightning Network? I mean, we have perfectly good systems for debit and credit cards already available for that. Why would you need to do that anyway? I don't even see a use for that." He doesn't know what Bitcoin is. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. Like, absolutely hilarious. Right, here we go. The Kellenschweller countdown. It's the 1st of October and we are now day 13 up from the where the Kellenschweller countdown finished, which is almost 2 weeks. But October is gonna get seriously spicy. You know, will the Kellenschweller countdown finish in October? You know, by day 43? Or will it continue? Who knows? But you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. You're not going to want to miss all the shenanigans that happen between now and then. So press like, hit the subscribe button. It's going to be absolutely epic. So until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
The king still has one more move.